Today we'll continue an old pastime on my channel as we review a WatchMojo ranking list related to the guitar, and I have to say, we've really come a long way with the old pop culture giant that is WatchMojo. Now we've had our disagreements, like when the Kinks made it to number 4 out of the 10 greatest rock riffs ever. Alright. I'm fighting with myself here because to me, this riff is so boring. Or that time you guys ranked Green Day's Good Riddance as the number 6 easiest song to play on guitar. It's not an easy song to play if you play it right.
But it sounds a lot harder than it is.
So why is it on the easiest famous songs to play on the guitar list?
Or when you failed to choose the correct Led Zeppelin solo on the greatest guitar solos of all time list. And if I had to pick a Led Zeppelin guitar solo, I would pick The Ocean. But as the months and years have gone by, I have to say, we've had a great time together. Like that time I put the James Hetfield purists in their place.
James plays it on the 12th fret, bro.
In fact, the WatchMojo guitar-related lists have gotten to a point of real quality where I wondered if I would ever actually evaluate another WatchMojo guitar ranking list ever again. Until they made this. Now, before we dive into this list, I'd like to let you know that you actually could have already seen this YouTube video, because I upload all my videos to Guitar Super System before they come out on YouTube, adding some more value to an already extremely valuable learning platform for guitar players of all skill levels. You can subscribe to Guitar Super System in the App Store of your choice on phone, tablet, computer, or TV. Like I said, on top of all my YouTube content that I'll be releasing early in Guitar Super System, you also have access to the entire platform. This is full access to the various guitar curriculums I've created for guitar players, from basic concepts to music theory to essential techniques. I've said it before and I'll say it again, this app is the best thing I've ever done or ever will do, and I really hope you enjoy it if you use it, and if not, no problem. Let's get into the video. WatchMojo has some explaining to do. Here's my rock tone, by the way. Heavenly. Let's get to the list. Hey, Herman.
Can you play any of these all the way through?
Important stipulation. Hardest rock songs to play all the way through.
Number 20, Wings of the Storm.
Okay, I would not have chosen a Whitesnake song for the top 20 hardest rock songs to play on the guitar. However, I am looking Whitesnake 1989, the year of my birth. And also, I believe Steve Vai is in the band at this point.
Steve Vai is a legendary guitar hero with a laundry list of solo accomplishments. He's helped out some bands along the way as well, including the iconic hard rock group Whitesnake. Vai joined the Snake on their 1989 album, Slip of the Tongue.
A lot of this album has tons of Steve Vai solos on it. If you've never listened to this Whitesnake album in particular, Slip of the Tongue, it's definitely worth checking out, especially this song. Oh, yeah. So that, oh man, I think that sounds like, oh, it's probably a half step down. And I have no clue in this tuning. It sounds like unison notes, like. I don't know what. Yeah, that's one of the hardest rock songs to play on the guitar. That's just 1 second of a 5-minute shred fest by Steve Vai. Let's move on.
Number 19, Bleed, Meshuggah.
Meshuggah. That sounds like a part in that System of a Down song. Meshuggah.
Colloquially known as Gent, owes much of its roots sound to this pioneering Swedish band.
Is that true?
Meshuggah.
Yeah, I guess so. It's technically masterful. Are we considering these songs as the impact they had? In which case, hardest rock songs to play on guitar. I don't know if that definition is literal. We'll move on.
Number 18, Flying in a Blue Dream.
Hey!
Joe Satriani.
Guitar
feedback.
Wait, have I been saying Joe's last name wrong my whole life?
Joe Satriani.
Satriani? Satriani. I've always said Satriani. Is it Satriani?
Joe Satriani.
Wait, he said it like kind of a hybrid between me and the WatchMojo. Joe Satriani.
Joe Satriani.
Joe Satriani.
Hi everybody, Joe Satriani here, and
Wait, Satriani. It's like a New York thing, Satriani. Hey, Satriani. So it's not Satriani, definitely not. Satriani. Yo! Whoa. I guess if you say his name 3 times, a Satriani guitar appears in your hands. If I were to choose a Joe Satriani song, hardest one to play, definitely not this one. Not because it's not technically demanding and the feel, like the phrasing, but the thing is, the phrasing is so good, even the solos from this song, you can actually sing because the melodies that Satch plays are just so good. Like even the quick legato stuff, I can note for note pick those out because they're so distinct. Like just this pattern. That is directly from the school of Satch. I would maybe say Andalusia? I don't know. It's hard to pick. Let's move on.
Number 17, Freight Train, Nitro.
Oh no. This is Michelangelo Badio, I think, right?
If you're looking for
It is.
subtlety or restraint, then
Oh yeah, this is the one where he has the four guitars.
By Nitro's Freight Train of hair metal excess.
There he is. A little pixelated, but that's okay.
Lyrics of Michelangelo Badio are set on full
Yeah.
display here, complete with the unforgettable.
You gotta check this one out.
Man's quadruple-necked guitar.
What the hell? Let's just move on. Yeah, Michelangelo Badio 4-neck guitar. That's gonna be on the hardest rock songs to play list.
Number 16, The Noon Word Race, the Mahavishnu Orchestra.
Whoa.
Now for something
Deep
completely
cut.
different.
Nerd in the WatchMojo guitar department. Nerd in the WatchMojo guitar department. No, but all seriousness, Mahavishnu Orchestra. Didn't expect this. I don't know if I know this song. So this sort of 70s stuff I think definitely should be represented in the hardest rock songs, whether you choose Mahavishnu Orchestra or Frank Zappa or Genesis or something like that. Some sort of prog, jazz, fusion sort of thing is definitely going to be incredibly intricate, not incredibly well versed in the genre, and not many are, which may be because of its difficulty. Look, any group that John McLaughlin is part of, I would say is capable of generating a very difficult rock guitar song.
Number 15, Master of Puppets, Metallica.
Okay, so metal song, not a rock song. Second of all, lots of people can play this song very well. If we're talking about the legend of the song, the iconic nature, yes, of course, a Metallica song, probably Master of Puppets belongs, but hardest rock songs, I mean, it is daunting to play all 8 minutes of this thing, but I could do it in high school. If I practiced this thing for an hour, I could do it now. So if I were to choose a Metallica song, I would say that's a metal song, not a rock song. If I had to put a Metallica song, the hardest Metallica song, I think to play all the way through might be Call of Cthulhu, Blackened, Battery, one of those, but probably not Master of Puppets. Master of Puppets, definitely the most iconic. Let's move on.
Number 14, Speed Metal Symphony, Cacophony.
Yeah, Jason Becker and Marty Friedman. A recipe for a hard metal song? This is metal. Cacophony is metal. Speed metal, thrash metal. I mean, this isn't a rock song, but a very difficult song nonetheless. Again, I think they might be going with like the most notable Cacophony song. I think the hardest Cacophony song, probably a song called I think it was called Concerto. That one is just an intense tune. But I gotta say, WatchMojo. You're doing great so far. The Metallica part was a little bit of a speed bump, but we'll let you off the hook. Let's keep moving forward.
Number 13, Sultans of Swing, Dire Straits.
I feel like Sultans of Swing, somebody in the WatchMojo guitar department has a soft spot for this song because I feel like it's been on at least 2 of their lists already, and I do think this is an incredibly difficult song to get perfect note for note. Not like metal where you can really figure out the rhythms and patterns, everything's very clear and precise. There's a lot of nuance to Mark Knopfler's guitar playing, which makes it difficult to sound just like him. So if I practice the Dire Straits stuff for, it's gonna take longer than an hour, that stuff is not easy to emulate. But I don't know if I would put this on the hardest rock songs to play because there are a lot of people that have covered this song beautifully just because of its popularity. So I think maybe we're discovering the hardest rock songs to play or the hardest songs to play on guitar are ones that aren't popular, because if so many people are focusing on them, then somebody's gonna figure it out. In fact, a lot of people will figure it out. But the endurance the solo takes, I will say, that technique with your fingers, maybe it does belong on this list, actually. I don't know, leave a comment. Does this song belong? Just let me know.
Number 12, Hanneman, Rodrigo y Gabriela. Rodrigo y Gabriela's Hanneman.
Rodrigo y Gabriela, a rock song? I mean, I don't know their catalog, but I thought they were acoustic duo. Sure, they rock. Looks like they got some amps everywhere.
Carlos Santana, and it shows.
All right, so are the stipulations changing? Should the song rock despite its instrumentation? Maybe, let's see.
His dedication to ingenuity and resistance to classification is on full display here. Taking the Santana fusion of Latin rhythms and jazz rock to a new level. Hanneman is...
Okay, I am biased because I know a couple people who play just like this kind of style that is unbelievably otherworldly. Rodrigo y Gabriela is by far, they're like pioneers in their own right, and they obviously have incredibly difficult songs. I don't know if they qualify as a rock song. I know it's like a rock performance, but like if we're gonna go this route, anything Mike Dawes does, I would put that up as the hardest songs to play on the guitar with this whole percussive thing going on. Andy McKee comes to mind, people like that who take this percussive thing of the guitar and, this is more of a Latin or flamenco thing going on. I don't know how far you want to go with it, but hardest rock songs to play on guitar, hardest songs to play on guitar. Choose a Mike Dawes original and you'll find something challenging for sure.
Number 11, Willie the Pimp, Frank Zappa. Frank Zappa.
This song is
musical madman.
I haven't listened to that song in forever. I'm a little pimp in the head. Yeah, dude, this one is raunchy. It's like a grimy stink romp, but it has crazy parts. Anything Frank Zappa, especially if they're choosing it for this list. And it's tough to choose a Zappa guitar song because the hardest Zappa composition is The Black Page, which is just this insane drum etude thing. If it weren't Frank Zappa performing this stuff, I don't think it would be so special. Like, there's just a way that he plays some of his parts that are just completely backwards to how any guitar player would interpret it. So I think that's what makes it so difficult. His music is just like not from a guitar player's brain, but he is a proficient guitarist, if that makes sense. Anyway, yeah, this is a weird one. Let's move forward.
Number 10, Eruption, Van Halen.
Yeah, I mean, everybody can play Eruption who is a Van Halen fan, almost note for note. I still remember when I learned that. It was a joyous day for 13-year-old me. But if 13-year-olds are playing this song, it's not gonna go. You know what a 13-year-old can't do? Just the onslaught of rhythm that is I'm the One. But then maybe that's like the Metallica argument for Master of Puppets. I don't know. Am I messing this up? I I'm gonna say I'm the one. I actually played that riff on Eddie Van
Number 9, Act 2, Scene 7, 1, The Dance of Eternity.
That's a very long title, John, and the rest of the band. I think that you can choose a lot of different Dream Theater or Liquid Tension experiment, honestly. Even John Petrucci's solo stuff. I like that they chose The Dance of Eternity. I would have also considered Universal Mind from Liquid Tension experiment, keeping it in the Petrucci realm, but yes, let's move on.
Number 8, Perpetual Burn, Jason Becker.
We will jam.
The story...
Yeah. This is like the most famous Jason Becker song, I would say, his most popular. Either this one or Altitudes, but this is the title track on Perpetual Burn, his album. And yeah, this one is just like required listening for any guitar player, even if you're not into shred or neoclassical or whatever Jason Becker is. But since Jason Becker's already been on this list, I'm gonna boot this one off. Not because it isn't worthy of the list, but I just want to include more artists. And there's an artist who was also on the Shrapnel label, which is like the shred label in the 80s that Jason Becker and a bunch of other guitar players got their start on. There's an artist called Vinnie Moore. He's an amazing guitar player. Some of you probably know who he is, but there is a song called Meltdown, and that song is unbelievably awesome. I just can't describe how perfect I think that song is, and also incredibly difficult, and I would call it a rock song. It's not metal, it's rock. So Meltdown by Vinnie Moore, check it out. Let's move on.
Number 7, Technical Difficulties, Racer X.
Dude, I've seen this video so many times. When I was really getting into guitar, I learned about Joe Satriani, Steve Vai. I found Paul Gilbert, and I found this video. This is the first time I ever saw Paul Gilbert, his face in guitar playing. I don't know how I saw it. I think it was on Kazaa. There was this like media sharing platform called Kazaa, and it was called like Shred Technical Difficulties Guitar Playing. It wasn't even Paul Gilbert or Racer X or anything. And I just remember being like, oh shit. What is this guy doing? And the funny thing is, 3 notes per string, which is an incredibly important way to learn scales if you're trying to play quickly and like fluidly how these guys play. But there's an ascent that basically goes through the G major scale 3 note per string positions, and I just practiced it. And so when I actually started learning the major scale, I didn't know that was a major scale. I was like, oh wait, I already know that from my friend Paul Gilbert. Love this song. Definitely a very difficult song, both technically and emotionally. Let's move on.
Number 6, Molto Arpeggiosa, Yngwie Malmsteen. What can we say about Sweden's biggest, most...
Yeah, I guess a deep cut Yngwie tune is it's gonna be good for me. I thought he was gonna say arpeggios from hell. But yeah, Yngwie, dude, Yngwie. He's on the hardest, again, neoclassical metal. Not really rock, but Yngwie. More is more.
Number 5, La Villa Strangiato, an exercise in self-indulgence.
Took the crown from Dream Theater on the old weird title meter. La Villa Strangiato. I don't know this Rush song. Do you guys?
We have to give it up to Rush for at least admitting what they were up to back on 1978's La Villa Strangiato. The song is given the...
Okay, this might be one of the hardest rock songs to play on the guitar, but YYZ I think might be like the most difficult from start to finish. It just has a lot of weird stuff going on. I just don't know if this one fits, especially this high up on the list, you know what I mean? Let's move on.
Number 4, Tornado of Souls.
Well, yeah, start to finish. This is sort of like the Metallica thing, but Tornado of Souls I think actually might be more difficult. I'm not making a Metallica versus Megadeth argument, but yeah, Tornado of Souls very hard. I did learn the solo a few years back. I could probably brush it off again. Not as difficult, I think, as maybe some other Megadeth songs though. Like, I actually think Hangar 18 might be harder than Tornado of Souls. Let me know. I think a Megadeth song, again, belongs on this list. It's pretty high up at number 4. Hardest rock songs, again, metal. I might even go Mechanics if I wanted to take a Metallica angle. Let's move forward.
Number 3, Cliffs of Dover.
Yep. I'm still trying to find that jacket, by the way. If anybody knows where that jacket is, DM me.
Number 2, CAFO, Animals as leaders.
This was on another one of their, I think, just hardest songs to play on guitar. Love the tune, love the band, but yes, if Meshuggah's gonna be on here, then I suppose Animals as Leaders also fits. But shall we modernize it? Let's put Polyphia right here. I'm almost guarantee they're not gonna have one of the latest Polyphia tunes on this list, but let's find out. What's number one?
Before we continue, be sure
Whoa, I thought they were gonna say Britney Spears is number one. They were trolling us the whole time.
Number 1, Through the Fire and Flames.
Congratulations, Herman Lee and the rest of the Dragon Force. Very well deserved. Just like incredibly difficult song to play. Not even a meme. Like that is a incredibly hard song to play, dude. I mean, it's the hardest song on Guitar Hero, right? Number one. Who am I to argue? But don't you think the hardest rock song to play on the guitar is... Where's Guthrie Govan? Okay, well, I'm just gonna say, where's that any Guthrie Govan song? Come on, dude. Guthrie's the best guitar player in the world. What are we doing? WatchMojo. Check out Fives. Check out anything off Erotic Cake. Check out any of Guthrie's like random improvisations over those backing tracks that were like in 2010 or something. They all had awesome titles of those videos, and it was just like, oh, this is the orange guitar Guthrie video. I'm gonna watch this one 100 times. Yeah, any Guthrie song should be number one, and it's not a debate. I'm sorry. That encapsulates, first of all, the rock genre. He doesn't play metal. It's almost fusion, it's jazz, but it inherently rock. And that is why I had a big problem with the old WatchMojo people this time around. No Guthrie, no list when we're talking about the hardest rock songs to play on the guitar. But with that said, very nice list. I did have fun. I hope you had fun checking it out with me. And I wonder what WatchMojo will do. I think we've rekindled our relationship. I wonder what they're going to go for next in the guitar realm. Until then, keep shredding.